Politics and Ivy got tales to share. Life in general, we go everywhere. From politics to soul repair. Tune in now, we got time to spare.
All right, strap in, everybody. Let's dive deep in something pretty interesting today. You sent over a YouTube video.
Okay.
And it's called
Oh, yeah.
K through 12 Truth Grades. Don't waste decades on reality's BS. Now, that title alone.
I know, right?
It's by a channel called Quantum of Conscience. And just that title had me hooked. Like,
Yeah, it definitely grabs your attention. That whole truth grades thing, it's like there's a learning curve almost.
Right.
You know, to understanding how the world actually works.
Exactly. So the guy who made the video, his name's Matt, he lays out this framework where, you've got different conspiracy theories, different paths to, seeking the truth. He assigns those to specific grades, like you're climbing, I don't know, a ladder of awareness or something. He's got this really energetic style. Like, he's so stoked to share these ideas. It makes it even more intriguing to watch,
He's really enthusiastic, isn't he?
Yeah. But what really caught my eye was this visual of a stick figure. It's climbing this rope and it's trying to dodge these bogs of distraction.
Oh, I liked that visual. That really resonated with me because, we're bombarded with information all the time.
Totally.
It's so easy to get sidetracked, especially when you start digging into, these alternative narratives. It's like he's saying some of these topics, even though they're tempting to explore.
Yeah.
They can actually get you stuck. You end up in these endless research loops.
Right.
And you're not really getting any closer to what he calls true understanding.
Yeah, it's like those rabbit holes online, You start with one simple question and you end up 3 hours later reading about ancient aliens. So, where does it all begin, according to Matt? He starts us off in kindergarten.
Okay.
And he equates that to conservative talk radio.
Interesting. What do you think about that as a starting point?
Well, I thought that was interesting, too, because, think about it. Conservative talk radio, it's kind of presenting itself as this alternative to mainstream media.
It is, yeah.
Where you hear, like, the other side of the story. And I think that can be pretty appealing to people who are starting to question the narratives that they're being fed by those traditional news sources.
I think it's that spark.
Yeah.
That first spark of, hold on a second. Maybe things aren't as straightforward as they seem.
Yeah, like the first crack in the facade of the accepted reality.
Yeah, exactly.
But he also warns us about getting stuck at that level, right?
He does, yeah.
And that's where first grade comes in, with all those classic conspiracy theories.
Oh, yeah.
Like Bigfoot, aliens, JFK.
That's right.
It's like a buffet of tantalizing mysteries.
And let's be honest, those topics can be a lot of fun to explore.
They are.
There's a certain thrill to uncovering hidden truths. You're challenging the official story, the official narrative.
Yeah.
But Matt's point, at least as I see it, is that these first-grade theories, as fun as they are, if you're not careful, they can become distractions. And I don't think he's necessarily saying they're all false.
Right.
But I think he's saying that getting too caught up in them can keep you from moving on to those deeper levels of understanding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all about recognizing those potential pitfalls.
Right.
Those bogs that can, suck you in and keep you going around in circles.
Exactly.
And speaking of rabbit holes,
Matt
dedicates an entire grade, third grade, to the moon landing hoax. Why do you think he singles that one out?
I think the moon landing hoax is just fascinating because it's so pervasive.
It is.
It's been around for decades. There's a whole subculture of people dedicated to debunking it and proving it. And I think Matt highlights it because it really demonstrates how a single conspiracy theory can just become this massive distraction, consuming people's time and energy for years without necessarily leading to any profound insights or personal growth.
Yeah, it's like that saying, don't miss the forest for the trees.
Exactly.
You can be so focused on proving or disproving one little detail that you miss the bigger picture.
Absolutely.
So let's say we've moved past those initial awakenings.
Okay.
We've dipped our toes into those conspiracy theory waters. Where does Matt take us next? Fifth grade gets into what he calls super conspiracies. What are those exactly?
Oh, this is where it gets really interesting, I think.
Yeah.
Super conspiracies are like these grand narratives that tie together multiple events and historical figures into a single overarching plot.
Gotcha.
So we're talking about theories like the Titanic sinking was orchestrated to get rid of opponents of the Federal Reserve, or secret societies are manipulating world events from behind the scenes.
Okay.
You know, he even throws in some stuff about Antarctica. Hidden history.
Okay.
I have to admit, I went down a few rabbit holes myself researching that.
I know, right?
It's fascinating stuff.
It is. These super conspiracies, they're so intricate and captivating. And they really play into our desire to find connections, right?
They do.
To uncover the hidden hand that's maybe guiding events.
It's like solving a giant puzzle, isn't it?
Yeah. But that's also where I think Matt's bog metaphor becomes even more relevant.
It does.
Because you can spend years piecing together these elaborate theories and not actually get any closer to understanding the nature of reality.
Exactly. And I think that's a key theme throughout his whole framework. He's not just presenting a list of conspiracy theories.
Right.
It's like he's trying to highlight these potential traps along the way. He wants us to be aware of those bogs so we don't get stuck.
Yeah.
And we actually progress on that journey toward truth.
Yeah.
And he even introduces this concept of the screen, which is kind of like this controlling force that's manipulating reality.
Right.
Through these distractions, through these bogs.
So if those super conspiracies are distractions, what does Matt suggest we focus on instead?
Well, this is where it gets really mind-bending.
Yeah.
Because he starts to bring in a spiritual dimension to this whole truth-seeking process.
Sure.
He talks about a spiritual battle that's underpinning this reality system, suggesting that the forces that control this screen, they're not just human, but something way more powerful and insidious.
This is where we're starting to see the bigger picture.
I think so, yeah.
Right. It's not just uncovering conspiracies. It's understanding the nature of reality itself and our place within it.
Yeah.
But we'll dive into those deeper levels of awareness in the next part of our deep dive.
Sounds good.
For now, maybe just sit with that idea of the scream, those bogs, the spiritual battle.
Right.
It's a lot to unpack. We're just getting started.
Yeah, we are. You know, picking up where we left off, like with those early grades, you can really see that Matt's not just laying out a list of conspiracies. You know, it's almost like he's highlighting the potential for distraction. Like he's warning us about getting so bogged down in those specifics.
Yeah.
You miss the forest for the trees, as they say.
It's like he's saying, okay, you've peeked behind the curtain and you realize things aren't always what they seem. Now let's go deeper. Let's understand the forces that are at play here.
Yeah.
And I think that's where those middle school truth grades come in, right?
That's so, yeah.
He calls sixth grade the challenge to question, you know, who really holds the power.
Who's pulling the strings?
Yeah.
In this world.
Exactly.
And, you know, we naturally want to point fingers.
Right.
We want to identify the puppet masters.
Who are they?
Yeah.
Governments, secret societies, these shadowy elites.
Right.
He explores all that. But he seems to be suggesting that,
it's still too focused on the surface level.
Okay.
He's hinting at something more fundamental to the nature of reality itself.
So it's not just about identifying the players, but understanding the game itself, you know?
Exactly.
And that's where seventh grade takes us into the realm of the truly bizarre, we're talking reptilians, archons, interdimensional beings.
Right.
This is where Matt really seems to blend like ancient mythology with modern technology.
Yeah, and he's creating this really unsettling picture of a reality that's way stranger than we can imagine.
Now, for the listener who might not be familiar with these concepts, can you break down some of those? Like, what are archons, for example?
Yeah, so archons are these predatory, inorganic beings. And they're said to feed off of negative human emotions.
Okay.
They're often depicted in Gnostic texts as rulers of a false reality.
Okay.
And they're keeping humanity trapped in spiritual ignorance.
Oh.
So pretty heady concept, right?
Yeah.
He even ties it into things like CERN and quantum computers.
Whoa.
Suggesting they could be tools for manipulating reality.
Okay.
On a massive scale.
So he's kind of suggesting that this battle for truth isn't just happening on the physical plane, but also in this unseen spiritual realm.
Yeah, exactly.
And he doesn't necessarily say we have to believe all this.
Right.
But he definitely encourages us to consider it.
I think he's pushing us to expand our idea of what's possible.
Yeah. He's definitely challenging our assumptions about the nature of reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then 8th grade, he throws us another curveball.
He does.
This time it's these reality-bending theories. We've got flat Earth, hollow Earth, mud floods, the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
He's basically saying, what if the very fabric of our reality is an illusion?
It's a lot, isn't it?
Wait, hold on. For those of us who haven't, gone down these rabbit holes, can you explain some of these concepts?
Sure. So the flat Earth theory is exactly what it sounds like. The belief that the Earth is flat, a disk instead of a sphere. Hollow Earth suggests the Earth is hollow and contains a hidden world inside. Mud floods are these hypothetical cataclysmic events that buried ancient civilizations under mud. And then the Mandela effect is this phenomenon where huge groups of people have these shared memories of events that seemingly never happened. So it leads some people to think about alternate timelines or, glitches in the matrix. Reality glitches.
Okay, wow. That is
a lot to unpack.
A lot to take in.
Yeah.
I can see how those theories would fall into the bog category for some people.
Definitely.
But I'm curious, how does Matt tie these concepts into the truth grades framework? What's the point he's trying to make?
I think he's saying don't take anything for granted.
Okay.
Not even the nature of reality itself, right?
Yeah.
He challenges us to question everything we think we know, to be open to the possibility that our perception of the world could be totally wrong. He even suggests that language itself could be part of a control system, shaping our thoughts, limiting our understanding.
So it's not just about questioning the information, but also the tools we use to process that information.
That's it.
Wow. Then, in 9th grade, he introduces reality breakdowns, these moments where things happen that just shouldn't be possible.
Right.
According to the official story.
A narrative,
A narrative, right. He uses examples like the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang event.
I remember that one.
Where, the scale of this supposed cover-up would require so many people to be in on it.
Right.
And he points out similar breakdowns in other events, highlighting inconsistencies, impossibilities that really challenge our perception of what's real. It's like those moments when you see a magic trick.
I know exactly what you mean.
And your brain's like, no, this can't be happening.
How do they do that?
You know something's off, but you can't explain it. And Matt suggests that these mistakes might be intentional.
Interesting.
Like clues left by the screen to wake up those who are paying attention.
Like glitches in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Are these just glitches or are they deliberate?
Yeah.
These breadcrumbs leading us toward a deeper understanding.
He really makes you think.
He does.
So by the time we hit 10th grade, we're questioning everything.
We are.
Right. From the nature of reality to the language we use to describe it.
Yeah.
We're starting to see the world as this elaborate stage play.
Okay.
And all of us are playing our assigned roles.
I like that. That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
The stage play.
But what's the next step? Right. Where do we go from here?
Well, this is where Matt brings back that idea of the spiritual battle.
Okay.
He suggests this whole reality system is designed to suppress our true nature, to keep us trapped in that cycle of fear and distraction.
Yeah.
He's basically saying the fight for truth, it's not just about uncovering facts.
Okay.
It's about reclaiming our spiritual source.
Yeah, that's not just about knowledge. It's about
awareness.
Yeah. It's recognizing the forces at play, choosing to break free.
Exactly.
From their control.
And he even challenges our traditional notions of good and evil.
Okay.
Suggesting that even those darkest forces are ultimately playing a role in our spiritual evolution.
So even the bad guys are part of some...
He calls it the yin-yang nature of reality. Like there's a balance. There's a purpose, even to the most negative experiences.
It's like he's saying they're pushing us toward growth and awakening, whether they intend to or not.
Yeah.
And that leads us to 11th grade,
right,
where Matt really delves into the implications of living in a world where everything's a lie.
Right.
He argues that understanding this deception is crucial for breaking free from its control. He talks about how everything, from the media to our social norms is designed to manipulate us, to drain our energy and keep us from realizing our true potential.
Yeah. It's like that scene in The Matrix, right?
Yeah.
Where Morpheus offers Neo the red pill or the blue pill. Choosing to see the truth, it can be so liberating, but it can also be terrifying.
Yeah.
And Matt doesn't sugarcoat it.
Right.
But he also emphasizes the empowerment that comes with that awareness, encouraging us to see the tricks, see the traps, see through the illusions, and reclaim our energy.
So we're recognizing the deception.
We are.
We're reclaiming our power. We're standing up to this screen that's trying to control us. But what does that actually look like?
Right.
In practice? I mean, how do we win this game?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think Matt offers a simple step-by-step guide.
Okay.
But instead, he takes us to the final stage.
Right.
12th grade, where he explores that ultimate goal of graduation.
Okay.
This
is what it's all been leading up to.
It is.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
What does Matt say about graduation? What's waiting for us at the top of this ladder of awareness?
He uses this really powerful analogy from A Christmas Carol.
Okay.
Scrooge and the heavy chains he forged in life.
Right.
Matt equates those chains to the limitations we create for ourselves through, our fears, our attachments, negative choices.
It's a striking image.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really drives home that point. We're often our own worst enemies.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It's so relatable. We all carry those burdens, those self-imposed limitations. But how do we break free?
Right.
Does Matt give us any practical advice?
Well, he doesn't lay out like a step-by-step plan.
Okay.
But he really emphasizes understanding the true nature of this reality.
Okay.
He calls it a train stop.
Okay.
Suggesting that this life is just a brief experience in a much larger journey.
Yeah.
It's like we get so caught up in the drama, the day-to-day grind.
Right.
We forget who we truly are, what we're capable of.
So it's about detaching from the material world, from the ego's desires.
Right.
Reconnecting with our spiritual essence. Yeah. Remembering that we're not just these physical bodies.
Exactly.
But something much more vast and eternal.
He uses the Pinocchio analogy.
Oh, right.
We started out as real boys and girls full of potential.
Right.
But we get tricked into becoming puppets controlled by external forces.
The reverse Pinocchio, that's a haunting image.
It is, right.
But how do we resist that?
Yeah.
How do we become real again?
Yeah.
Does he give us any guidance?
Well, he talks a lot about reclaiming our power.
Okay.
But not in like an egotistical power over others kind of way.
Okay.
More like wielding power with humility.
Right.
Recognizing that our intentions, our actions, they have ripple effects.
They do.
He even cautions against judging others as NPCs, arguing that those labels can actually reinforce their limitations.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah,
it's like he's saying we need to be mindful of the energy that we're putting out into the world.
Totally.
Recognizing that we're all
connected,
connected part of this
grand tapestry. Yeah. We're all in this together.
Right. So we're stepping into our power, but with a sense of responsibility and compassion.
Compassion, yeah.
But he also acknowledges
he does.
It's not easy.
Right.
This world is full of distractions and fears.
Oh, it is.
And manipulations designed to keep us trapped in those lower grades.
He does. And, he even challenges the idea that the way out is complicated.
Okay.
He's critical of those who get lost.
Right.
In those esoteric texts and the convoluted theories.
Okay.
Suggesting it's just another form of bog.
Yeah.
A distraction from the simple truth.
So what is the simple truth?
Right.
How do we graduate?
Well, he describes it as stepping into a state of no fear.
Okay.
He acknowledges that fear is a natural human emotion.
It is, especially in a world that's constantly throwing threats at us.
Right.
But he argues that we can transcend that fear by recognizing it's ultimately an illusion, a tool of control.
So it's about shifting our perception.
Yeah.
Recognizing that we're more than just these physical bodies.
Right.
That we're part of something larger and more powerful.
Exactly. He's suggesting
Yeah.
that death isn't the end.
Okay.
We're eternal beings who have just chosen to experience this physical reality for a time. And graduation is about remembering who we truly are, choosing to move on to a higher level of experience.
But what about those who haven't graduated?
Yeah.
What happens to them when they die?
He doesn't get into specifics.
Okay.
But there's a line from the show Interface that he quotes.
Okay.
And it says, "All lost souls remain on Earth. They fail to go as they came." Chilling thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it really emphasizes
Right.
the importance of this journey. Right.
Striving for that higher awareness.
It definitely makes you think about
It does.
the choices that we make.
Yeah.
The energy that we cultivate.
Yeah.
How those things might impact our experience beyond this life.
Beyond this physical life, yeah.
So if we do manage to graduate,
Okay.
what's waiting for us on the other side?
He's pretty vague on the specifics.
Okay.
But he hints at a state of liberation,
Okay.
of expanded consciousness,
Right.
interconnectedness,
Yeah.
suggesting we're finally free
Right.
from those limitations
Right.
of this reality system, and then we can experience our true potential.
What that looks like, though,
Yeah,
is up to us to discover.
I guess so.
Well, this whole
Yeah.
K through 12 truth grades
Yeah.
framework.
It's a wild ride, isn't it?
It is.
It's this blend of conspiracy theories, esoteric knowledge, mind-bending possibilities.
It is a lot to unpack.
It is.
And I'm sure our listener has plenty to contemplate.
I think so.
What strikes me is Matt doesn't present himself as like a guru with all the answers.
He doesn't.
He's more like a fellow traveler.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Sharing his observations and insights,
Yeah.
encouraging us to
think for ourselves.
Question everything, yeah. Find our own path.
And that's what I love about these deep dives.
Me too.
It's not about telling you what to think.
Right.
It's about giving you those tools to explore these ideas.
Right.
To think critically.
Yeah.
Come to your own conclusions.
Matt has provided a map, maybe a set of guidelines.
A framework, yeah.
But the journey is ultimately ours to take.
It is.
Well, on that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive into K through 12 truth grades.
Well, it's been fun.
It's been a thought-provoking
Yes.
exploration. And I hope you found it as insightful as we have.
I have.
Keep questioning.
Always.
Keep exploring.
And remember, the truth is out there.
It is.
And maybe, just maybe, it's a lot simpler
Maybe so.
than we've been led to believe. All right, let's dive into some spiritual progress today.
Sounds good.
You guys gave us a really interesting YouTube video as source material.
Yeah.
It's called Spiritual Progress, Self-Measured by Perception, from the channel Quantum of Conscience.
Okay.
And we're going to be exploring this idea of measuring success.
Interesting.
But not the typical kind.
Right, not like, you know.
Like, not with like money or trophies or anything like that, but the kind that like feeds your soul.
Right.
But the kind that like feeds your soul.
That's the spiritual gains.
Exactly, those spiritual gains.
That's a good way to put it.
So, we're going to be looking at this video, and like the big question is, how do you actually measure that?
Yeah, how do you measure spiritual progress?
Right, and the video dives right into this concept of two different perspectives on life, which the speaker in the video argues really impact how you view this success.
Interesting. Okay.
And ultimately how you grow spiritually.
Okay, so two perspectives.
Two perspectives.
What's the first one?
So the first one they call perspective number one.
Okay.
Is how most people see themselves.
Okay.
They see themselves as humans just trying to find their spiritual side.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Right.
Like searching.
Searching, exactly.
Yeah.
And they use a cool analogy to describe this perspective.
Okay.
It's like, imagine you're playing a first-person video game.
Okay.
But you're like stuck in the Sims world.
Oh, okay.
And you just feel lost.
Yeah.
That's perspective number one.
Gotcha. Okay, so we're all just wandering around.
Yeah.
Bumping into stuff.
Right. Just trying to figure out what we're even doing here.
Trying to figure out the point of it all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's perspective number one.
Okay.
Then they introduce perspective number two.
Okay.
Which like flips the script completely.
Okay.
So instead of seeing yourself as human, searching for spirit.
Okay.
You see yourself as a spiritual being having a human experience.
Wow.
Right.
That's deep.
I know, it's kind of a mind bender.
Yeah.
But it's like now instead of first person in the video game,
yeah, okay,
you're in third person.
Oh, okay.
You're looking down at your character.
Gotcha.
And you're the one making the choices.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So much more empowering.
Yeah. If that's a better way to look at things, why are most people stuck in the first perspective?
That's the big question.
Yeah.
That's where the speaker starts getting into the tricks of this reality.
Oh.
That keep us in that first perspective.
Gotcha.
So they actually claim that our whole system is like set up to keep us in perspective number one.
Interesting.
Think about it.
Okay.
Like when you're in school,
Yeah.
they teach you about all these things like math and science and history.
Yeah.
But what about the soul?
Yeah. What about the soul?
The spirit?
Right. You never learn about that.
No, you never learn about that in school.
Hmm.
It's almost like those concepts are intentionally left out.
Yeah, like it's not important or something.
Right, like it's not important. And it's almost as if society wants us to focus on material success instead of spiritual growth.
Interesting. Yeah.
So they actually use this term, waffle parties.
Waffle parties.
Yeah.
What are waffle parties?
So they're basically like these external rewards, distractions that keep us chasing after things that ultimately don't matter.
Right. Gotcha. Like those external things.
Right. So it's like society is dangling these waffle parties in front of us.
Okay.
To keep us from like looking inward.
Interesting.
And actually finding that true fulfillment.
Yeah. I mean, they really are dangling them.
They are. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And so it's like reality, according to the speaker, is actively working against us reaching that higher level of understanding.
Wow. Okay, so it's like a conspiracy.
It is. It is.
It's like a conspiracy against spiritual growth.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
And that's what's so fascinating about this video.
They actually believe that reality is almost like a magician. Using sleight of hand.
Gotcha.
To keep us focused on this illusion.
Interesting. Okay.
And they even use the example of Neo in the Matrix.
Okay.
Remember, Neo starts out totally trapped in the Matrix.
Yeah, he thinks it's totally real.
Right. He thinks it's real.
Yeah.
But then as he progresses, he starts to see through that illusion.
Right.
And then unlocks his true potential.
Right. Yeah, that's a great example.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, we're caught up in this illusion.
Yeah, so how do we escape the Matrix then?
How do we escape the Matrix?
Yeah, how do we shift our perspective?
The speaker gives us a few strategies.
Okay.
And the first one is, don't take it seriously.
Wait, what?
I know, it sounds kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Don't take spiritual growth seriously.
Right. I mean, how does that work?
But they're not saying, like, be flippant about it.
Okay.
It's more about not getting so bogged down in the day-to-day drama that you lose sight of the bigger picture.
Okay, so it's like not sweating the small stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Don't get attached to all the ups and downs of this material world.
Right.
And try to find that inner peace regardless of what's happening externally.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So what else do they suggest?
Yeah, what else?
Another key is recognizing what they call the ruse of reality.
The ruse? Oh, yeah.
And this is all about like seeing through the tricks.
Gotcha.
And the manipulations. Understanding that this reality is designed to keep us trapped.
So it's like seeing how the magician does the tricks?
Yes, exactly.
So then it's not so magical anymore.
It's not so magical, exactly.
Gotcha.
So it's about developing that critical thinking.
Right.
Questioning everything, not taking things at face value.
Yeah, don't believe everything you hear.
Exactly. And once you start to see the patterns, the manipulations become less effective.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm already starting to think about things a little differently.
Yeah, me too.
So what else do they say?
What other strategies do they give us?
They also talk about the importance of attitude.
Attitude. Okay.
And how your attitude actually impacts your energy and therefore your experience of reality.
Interesting.
So they actually give the example of Red.
Oh, from Shawshank Redemption.
Yes, from Shawshank Redemption.
Okay, I love that movie.
I know, it's such a good movie.
Yeah.
And specifically, his parole hearings.
Okay, yeah.
So think about Red's attitude in those earlier parole hearings.
Yeah. He's just trying to say what they want to hear.
He's playing the game.
Really?
He's trying to say what they want to hear.
Yeah.
But then in his final parole hearing, his attitude totally shifts.
Right.
He's not trying to please them anymore.
Yeah, he's just being himself.
He's being himself.
Yeah.
He's speaking his truth.
Right.
And that changes everything.
And he gets paroled.
And he gets paroled. Exactly.
Wow, that's a great example.
It is.
Yeah.
So they're basically saying that by adopting a more authentic attitude, by being true to ourselves, we change the energy around us.
Interesting.
And it's not just about getting what we want externally.
Okay.
It's about aligning with our true selves.
Right.
And experiencing a deeper sense of freedom and fulfillment.
Yeah, I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes you think.
It does.
So we've talked about these two perspectives.
Okay.
And the importance of shifting from one to the other.
Yeah.
But what about the nature of reality itself?
Right. What do they say about that?
What does the speaker say about the nature of reality itself?
Yeah.
This is where things get even more interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So they compare reality to a dream.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They point out that when you're in a dream,
Yeah.
it feels completely real.
Right. It feels totally real.
It's only when you wake up
Yeah.
that you realize it was all an illusion.
Right. Whoa.
Right. So they're suggesting that this reality might be a similar kind of illusion.
Okay, so we're all just dreaming right now.
Possibly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they even suggest that our senses,
Yeah, the ones we use to survive.
the ones that we rely on for survival,
Yeah.
might actually be part of this grand illusion.
So our senses are deceiving us.
It's possible.
What? How?
Think about it like this.
Okay.
You're watching a movie
Okay.
with amazing special effects.
Right.
Your senses are telling you it's all real.
Yeah, especially if it's 3D.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know deep down
Okay.
that it's just a carefully crafted illusion.
Right.
So they're suggesting that
Yeah.
this reality might be operating on a similar principle.
Whoa.
Right. Our senses are designed to make this experience feel real,
Right.
even if it's not the ultimate truth.
That's mind-blowing.
It is.
Yeah.
So then they talk about the third eye,
Oh.
you know,
Oh, yeah.
that mystical concept.
Right. Intuition.
Intuition, spiritual insight.
Okay.
And they believe that the third eye is connected to that third person perspective.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It's about developing the ability to step back
Gotcha.
and observe reality
Okay.
from a detached viewpoint,
Right.
to see through the illusions
Yeah.
and perceive those deeper truths,
Like seeing Matrix code.
like seeing the Matrix Code. Exactly.
Okay, but can everyone do that?
Well, they acknowledge
Okay.
that fully opening the third eye
Right.
is pretty rare in this reality,
Okay.
but they don't believe it's necessary
Okay.
to achieve full-blown enlightenment,
Right.
to benefit
Okay.
from this human experience.
Gotcha.
It's more about
Yeah.
gradually shifting that perspective,
Yeah.
becoming more aware of the illusions
Yeah.
and cultivating our intuition over time.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So we've talked about the nature of reality,
Yeah.
the importance of shifting our perspective.
Right.
How do we actually make spiritual progress in this reality?
Right. That's the big question.
Yeah, how do we level up in this game of life?
Right. Yeah.
And the speaker says
Yes.
that we should actually embrace challenges.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So not avoid pain?
Not avoid pain, no.
Okay.
And they actually argue that
Huh.
difficult experiences are opportunities for growth.
Interesting.
They're like the tough levels in a video game
Okay.
that force you to like develop new skills
Gotcha.
and strategies.
Right. Okay. So it's like those bosses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that those challenges
Okay.
are inherent to the human experience,
Right.
and our response to them
Okay.
determines our spiritual growth.
So it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Okay. So
But how do we choose how to respond when it feels so overwhelming?
right.
You know, that's where this idea of
Doing it to yourself comes in.
doing it to yourself.
And they believe
Yeah.
that we ultimately choose
Okay.
how we respond to this reality.
So we have a choice.
We have a choice.
Okay.
And they use this example of
Nice.
an 18-year-old soldier landing on Omaha Beach on D-Day.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
That's pretty intense.
Intense.
Yeah.
But they're saying,
Okay.
even in that situation,
Okay.
you still have a choice
Wow. Okay.
in how you face that challenge.
Interesting.
So even in the most extreme situation, we
Right.
still have some degree of agency.
Right.
It's about finding that inner strength,
Okay.
that resilience
Yeah.
that allows us to navigate those difficult situations
Right.
without losing sight of who we are.
Okay. I like that.
Right.
That's empowering.
Yeah.
Do they have any other examples?
Oh, they have tons.
Okay.
From
Okay.
like The Devil Went Down to Georgia to
The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
the movie Invitation to Hell.
With Susan Lucci?
Yeah, with Susan Lucci.
Okay.
Where it's like the individual ultimately chooses their fate.
Wow. Okay.
So it's like,
Yeah.
this reality is set up to test us.
Yeah, like what choices will we make?
What choices will we make?
Interesting.
And even though it might feel manipulative at times, they emphasize that we always have the final say.
Okay.
We have the power to choose our path.
So free will is real.
Free will is real.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
But they also talk about one of the biggest challenges to spiritual progress.
Okay.
Which is getting bogged down in what they call...
What's that?
The bog.
The bog?
The bog.
Yeah.
So think about it like this.
Okay.
You're on a quest for truth.
Right.
You're seeking deeper meaning and understanding.
Okay.
But reality is constantly throwing distractions your way.
Yeah, especially if you're already questioning things.
Especially if you're already questioning things.
Right.
And they use this analogy of a bog.
Okay.
It's mud.
Right.
You get stuck.
Yeah.
It's hard to make progress.
Okay.
And that's what happens.
Yeah.
When we get caught up in these distractions.
Okay.
These endless rabbit holes of information.
Right, like on the internet.
Like on the internet, exactly.
Yeah.
So you go down a rabbit hole.
Right, and you're watching conspiracy theory videos.
For hours.
Yeah.
For hours.
And they actually argue
that
the deeper you dive into these conspiracy theories, the further you move away from simple truth.
Oh, wow.
So instead of focusing on these complicated theories, this external information, they're saying we should be...
Looking inward.
Looking inward for truth.
Okay.
They believe the most important truths are actually very simple.
Okay.
And we can access them.
Okay.
By quieting our minds.
Yeah.
And connecting with our inner knowing.
I like that.
Right.
That makes sense.
So, but it's so easy to get caught up in all the noise.
Yeah, it is. And distractions of the world.
How do we avoid that then? How do we avoid the bog?
So they talk about this truth community.
The truth community.
The people who are like actively seeking truth, questioning the mainstream narratives.
Yeah.
They believe that often that community falls prey to...
Oh, the distractions of the bog?
The distractions of the bog, yeah.
So the people who are already seeking truth are the most vulnerable?
Wow. And they say it's because they're constantly chasing the next big conspiracy, getting distracted by these
shiny objects
that reality dangles in front of them.
Right. It's like they're on a treasure hunt, but they're following fake clues. Yeah.
Leading them further and further away from the real treasure.
From the real treasure. Exactly.
And what's even more interesting is that they believe that reality itself might be creating these conspiracy theories.
What?
It's a possibility they raise.
Reality is creating conspiracy theories.
It's a possibility.
To distract us.
That they raise in the video.
Wow.
And they point out how these theories often appear out of nowhere.
Right.
Perfectly tailored to the interests.
Of the truth community. Wow. It's like they know exactly what buttons to push.
Exactly.
To keep us hooked.
They know what buttons to push to keep us hooked.
Yeah.
So instead of getting lost in these rabbit holes.
Yeah. What should we focus on instead?
They encourage us to step off.
Step off of what?
The elevator.
The elevator.
Of endless searching.
Oh. Okay, another analogy. Yeah, okay, go on.
Imagine an elevator where each floor represents a different level of distraction.
Okay.
The higher you go.
Okay.
The further you get from those simple truths.
Gotcha, okay.
So we're riding this elevator.
And down.
Up and down.
Searching for answers on every floor.
Searching for answers.
But never reaching the top.
Okay,
yeah, I can see that.
And they argue that reality customizes
it
for each individual.
So it's like personalized distractions.
And they use the example of the Tartaria conspiracy theory.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard of that one?
Yeah, I've heard that one.
It's a theory about
this ancient civilization. Yeah.
And they believe it's a prime example of a distraction. Planted by reality.
Wow.
So it's like reality knows our interests. Our weaknesses. And uses that against us.
To keep us distracted.
To keep us on that elevator.
Wow, that's crazy.
And they believe the only way to break free.
Okay, how do we break free?
Is to step off that elevator entirely. Step off the elevator.
Okay, but if we're not supposed to ride the elevator.
Right.
How do we actually find truth?
How do we find truth?
Yeah.
How do we make progress?
Yeah. That's where this idea comes in.
Okay.
Of looking inside yourself.
Looking inside yourself?
Yeah. Remember how they said the most important truths are actually very simple.
Yes.
And we can access them by quieting our minds.
Yeah.
They even reference that famous line from Silence of the Lambs. Look deep within yourself, Clarice.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So they're saying the answers we're seeking are already within us.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And this is not about blindly following someone else's teaching or doctrines. It's about connecting with your own
inner wisdom,
your own intuition.
I like that.
But of course,
reality is going to try to
pull us back
onto that elevator.
Right, back onto that elevator.
Back into that cycle of distraction.
Runs into the bog.
Back into the bog.
Right.
So it's an ongoing battle.
Yeah.
We have to constantly resist that temptation to get sucked back in.
Right.
And they even warn us about this, like, demented elevator operator.
Ah, the demented elevator operator.
Who's always trying to lure us back in.
Right.
With those shiny objects.
With the shiny objects and empty promises.
And empty promises.
Yeah.
So it's like that scene in The Matrix.
Yeah.
Where Cypher chooses to go back to the illusion.
Oh.
Because he can't handle the truth.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, he wants the steak.
He wants the steak.
Yeah.
He wants the good life.
Even if it's fake.
Even if it's fake.
Yeah.
So, to resist this temptation.
Right. What do they say?
They encourage us to really focus on cultivating those two perspectives.
Right. Perspective 1 and 2.
Perspective 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Remember, perspective number 1 is the one where we see ourselves as those limited humans searching for our spiritual side. And then perspective number 2 is recognizing ourselves
as those spiritual beings.
As those timeless spiritual beings.
Having a human experience.
Having a human experience.
Yeah.
And they believe that. By consistently adopting perspective number 2, we start to change the energy around us and break free from that manipulation.
Right.
It's about aligning with our true selves.
Yeah.
And stepping into our power. But this doesn't mean ignoring the challenges of this reality.
Yeah, it's still valuable for our growth.
They see it as a school.
Oh, a school.
Yeah. A place where we can learn and evolve through those experiences.
Interesting.
And one of the most important lessons we can learn here is how to deal with loss.
Loss.
I know it's a heavy topic.
Yeah.
But they actually believe that experiencing loss, while painful, can be
valuable,
incredibly valuable for our spiritual growth.
Interesting.
And they even quote Robert De Niro's character from the movie Cape Fear. Who says,
what does he say?
Counselor, you're going to learn about loss.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Pretty chilling line.
Yeah.
But I think what they're getting at is that loss is a part of life.
Yeah.
And it forces us to confront some of our deepest fears and attachments.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So these experiences of loss, while difficult, can help us detach from the material world and recognize the true nature of our being.
So finding meaning and growth.
Finding meaning and growth.
In the midst of suffering.
In the midst of suffering. Not about avoiding pain altogether.
Right. They emphasize that it's our attitude toward these challenges. That determines whether we
learn and grow.
Or get stuck in that negativity and despair. And this goes back to what we were talking about with Red in Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, his attitude changes.
His attitude shifts.
Right.
And that leads to his freedom ultimately.
Right, yeah.
In the beginning, he's just bitter and cynical. He's like...
He's given up.
He's given up. Yeah. He thinks he's a lost cause, but...
As he goes...
As he experiences different things...
Different challenges,
Right, connects with Andy.
Yeah.
His perspective starts to change.
He sees hope.
He sees hope.
Yeah.
Even in the darkest of circumstances.
Right.
And that shift in attitude makes all the difference.
Yeah.
So the speaker is basically saying... that by learning to embrace challenges... shift our attitude towards them...
and find meaning in the midst of difficulty. That is key.
That's key to spiritual progress.
To spiritual growth.
So
it's not about pretending everything's okay.
Right.
Or avoiding pain.
Yeah, it's about using those experiences to become stronger.
Exactly. It's about developing resilience.
Right.
And using those experiences to become stronger.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's where this concept of transmuting comes in.
Transmuting.
So they believe that we can actually take energy
of the difficult experience.
Of difficult experiences.
And
transform it into something positive.
Oh, interesting.
So like alchemy.
Like turning lead into gold.
Turning lead into gold, yeah.
Okay.
So instead of allowing our energy to be drained by those negative experiences, we can use them as fuel for our growth.
Interesting. Okay.
And that's one of the ways we can nourish ourselves spiritually.
Right.
Instead of being depleted
yeah.
by that negativity and fear. So that reminds me of another point they made.
Oh, okay. What's that?
About the creeps.
Oh, yeah, the creeps.
The creeps.
The ones that need us to carve the ice sculpture for them.
Yes.
Right.
But if they're so trapped.
Yeah. How do they have so much influence?
How do they have so much influence over the world?
Right.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And the speaker suggests that even though they're more trapped in this reality, they're also really good at manipulating it.
So they're like master manipulators.
Master manipulators, yeah.
Okay.
So they're kind of like
puppeteers.
The puppeteers pulling the strings from behind the scenes.
Okay.
They're the architects.
Yeah.
But they need us, the real people,
to
do the actual building.
To do the building.
So we're the ones with the real power.
Oh, wow.
According to the speaker.
Interesting.
And they argue
that
if we can wake up to this power, we can start to create something different.
Create something.
Break free from their influence.
Yeah.
And build a reality.
That is more aligned with our desires.
That's more aligned with our true desire.
And values.
And values, yes.
Okay, but how do we resist their influence?
That's the big question.
Yeah.
And it all starts with awareness.
Awareness.
Becoming aware of the subtle ways that we're being programmed and manipulated.
Yeah.
So it's like recognizing the propaganda, the mind control tactics that are constantly being used to keep us in line.
Like what? Give me some examples.
So think about it.
Okay.
Like society bombards us with distractions.
Right, like what?
From celebrity gossip to political scandals to just this endless consumerism.
It's like we're living in a Black Friday sale.
Yes, perpetual Black Friday.
Wow, yeah.
This
constant bombardment of messages to buy more, consume more, distract yourself more.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. So it's like we're living in this perpetual Black Friday sale.
Right. Constantly being told to buy more, consume more, distract ourselves more.
Yeah.
And they argue that this constant barrage
of distractions
is designed to keep us
from waking up.
From questioning the system.
Oh, wow.
And they even suggest
that
this mindfuckery starts
early, like in elementary school?
Even in elementary school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They talk about how children are programmed to believe that success is defined by those external achievements.
Oh, okay. Like getting good grades.
Good grades, going to college. Getting a high-paying job.
Okay, so fitting into the system.
Yeah. And they argue that this programming continues.
Throughout our lives.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shaping our beliefs.
About who we are.
Yeah. And what's possible for us.
It's like we're being molded.
Yes.
Into the perfect consumers.
Perfect little consumers.
To work.
Bends. Consume.
Well, I say comfortably numb.
And stay comfortably numb.
Yeah.
Right?
To the greater reality.
Yeah. So it's kind of a bleak picture.
Yeah. So how do we break free from this programming?
So they encourage us to start by questioning everything. Develop that inner knowing. That voice inside. That tells us what's true and what's not.
So like trusting your gut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about reclaiming our own authority. Our own discernment.
Yeah.
And not blindly accepting what we're told.
Yeah, by external sources.
By those external sources.
Okay, I like that.
So it's about questioning everything.
Yeah.
Thinking critically.
And
ultimately
our own conclusions.
Yes. Based on what resonates with us. Yeah. On a deep level.
Right. Okay, so not just going along with the crowd.
Yeah. And they remind us that this journey of self-discovery can be challenging.
It's not easy.
Yeah. There will be times when we doubt ourselves.
Right.
When we feel lost. Yeah. Confused.
Yeah, I've been there.
And it's important
to be patient with ourselves.
Through those times.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's about embracing the journey.
Yeah. With all the twists and turns.
With all its twists and turns.
Yeah.
And trusting that we'll ultimately
find our way.
Yeah. And they also say it's important
To find joy.
To find joy in the process.
Yeah, spiritual growth shouldn't be a chore.
Shouldn't be a chore, exactly.
Right.
It should be about
aligning with our true selves.
Aligning with our true selves.
And experiencing more joy and peace.
Yes. Experiencing more love, peace, and joy in our lives.
That's a good way to put it.
And they remind us that this is our birthright.
Our birthright.
To experience these states of being.
Wow, I like that.
And we all have the capacity
to
access them.
So it's not something we have to earn.
It's not something we have to earn.
We already have it.
It's already within us.
Yeah.
They also talk about another challenge to spiritual growth.
Okay.
And that is...
What's that?
Getting caught up.
Okay.
In other people's...
Definitions of success.
Definitions of success, yes.
Oh, yeah.
So we often get trapped.
Okay.
By societal expectations.
Societal expectations, right?
Feeling like
we have to.
We have to achieve certain things.
Yeah, or live a certain way.
Or live a certain way.
Yeah.
To be considered successful.
Right, I've felt that pressure.
And they're saying that these expectations are often based on the creep's agenda.
The creep's agenda is to keep us focused on material possessions.
To keep us focused on material possessions.
And external validation.
External validation.
Oh, okay, so it's all about keeping us distracted.
Keeping us distracted, exactly.
From what really matters.
From what really matters.
Yeah, okay.
So it's about defining success for ourselves.
Defining success for ourselves.
Based on what truly matters to us.
Yeah, what's important to us.
What's important to us.
What society says.
Not what society dictates.
Okay.
And they believe
that
true success is not about
what we accumulate
or achieve,
but
about
who we become.
Who we become.
So it's an inside job.
It's an inside job.
Okay.
It's about aligning with our values.
Okay.
Pursuing our passions.
Yeah.
And making a positive impact on the world.
Okay, I like that.
So it's a good reminder.
Yeah.
To break free from those limitations.
Of societal expectations.
Of societal expectations.
Yeah.
And to embrace our individuality.
Embrace our individuality.
Right.
Okay.
And that brings us back
to
this importance of shifting our perspective.
Shifting our perspective.
Yeah.
Okay. To that third-person view.
That third-person view.
Yeah.
Seeing ourselves
as spiritual beings.
As those spiritual beings.
Having a human experience.
Having a human experience.
Okay.
And by doing so, we can start to see beyond
those illusions.
The illusions of this reality.
Okay.
Recognize our
true nature.
True nature.
And purpose.
And purpose, yes.
It's like stepping outside of the game.
It's like stepping outside the game, yeah. Seeing the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And realizing that
we're not just players.
We're not just the players.
We're the creators.
We're the creators of our own reality.
Okay, so how do we cultivate that perspective?
They offer some practical tips.
Okay.
Like spending time in nature.
Okay.
Meditating.
Yeah.
Or just taking a few moments each day.
To reflect.
To reflect on that bigger picture.
Right.
Okay, so creating space for stillness. For contemplation.
Yeah.
For connecting with that part of ourselves that's beyond the
hustle and bustle.
Everyday hustle and bustle.
Yeah, I like that.
And by doing so, they say we can
escape the bog.
Escape the bog, step off that elevator, and start creating
a reality that reflects our true selves.
A reality that's more aligned with our true selves.
I like that.
Right? It's good stuff.
So this is like a
framework.
An incredible framework for understanding
spiritual progress.
Spiritual progress, yes.
Yeah.
And it's so much more empowering than simply
following a set of rules.
Following a set of rules or doctrines.
Right.
And the most important takeaway
what is it?
Is that spiritual progress is a journey, not a destination.
A journey, not a destination.
Yes.
It's about continuously evolving.
Continuously evolving.
Yeah.
Expanding our awareness.
Expanding our aligning with our true selves.
Okay.
And this reality might present us with
challenges,
distractions. But we have the power
to choose how we respond.
Yeah. To learn from our experiences.
And
to create a more fulfilling and meaningful life.
Okay, I like that.
And as the speaker says,
the
most important answers are not found out there in the world.
But within
ourselves.
So look inside. Yeah.
Connect with your own inner wisdom.
Yeah, trust yourself.
Trust yourself.
Okay.
And know that you have everything you need to navigate this journey and create a reality.
That reflects your highest aspirations.
I
love that. You know, it's interesting. For someone talking about reality being an illusion.
Right.
the speaker also brings up some really good points.
Yeah.
About how this illusion is specifically designed to, like, keep us trapped.
Yeah, to keep us trapped.
Like you said, with the bog and the elevator.
Right, yeah.
This reality seems to have a lot of tricks.
It does.
Up its sleeve.
Yeah.
To distract us.
From the truth.
Yeah.
Keep us stuck in these cycles.
Yeah, those cycles of suffering and search.
Of searching and suffering.
Right.
And they actually say that society is structured to keep us in a state of perpetual...
Perpetual what?
Black Friday.
Black Friday? Okay.
Yeah.
What do they mean by that?
So think about that feeling of frenzy and chaos.
Yeah.
You get on Black Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Where everyone's like rushing around, trying to grab the best deals.
Yeah.
Buy as much as they can.
Gotta get that new TV.
Right.
Yeah.
And the speaker argues that this consumerist mindset, this constant need for more, is actually a form of mind control.
Wow. Okay, so it's like programming us.
It's programming us.
To just focus on
material possessions. External validation.
And not look inward.
Rather than looking in.
For fulfillment.
For fulfillment, yes.
So keep us distracted.
Keep us distracted.
Chasing after things that don't matter.
That don't matter.
And then we don't have time.
To question the bigger picture.
Question the bigger picture.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like we're on a hamster wheel.
A hamster wheel, yeah.
Just running and running.
Going nowhere fast.
Yeah, going nowhere fast.
But how does this mindfuckery, as the speaker calls it,
mindfuckery,
actually start?
Where does it begin?
So they say it starts early.
Okay, how early?
Like in elementary school.
Elementary school. Wow.
They talk about how even in elementary school, children are being programmed to believe that success is defined by those external achievements.
Oh, okay.
Like good grades.
Good grade.
Going to college.
Going to college.
Getting a high-paying job.
Right. Fitting into the system.
Fitting into the system, yes.
So it starts young.
It starts young. Yeah. And this programming continues throughout our lives.
We're shaping our beliefs.
Shaping our beliefs about
who we are.
Who we are and what's possible.
It's like we're being molded.
Molded into these perfect little consumers ready to
work,
spend, consume.
Then stay comfortably numb.
And stay comfortably numb.
Wow.
To the greater reality.
So how do we break free?
So they encourage us to start by
questioning everything.
Questioning everything.
Okay.
Develop that inner knowing.
Inner knowing,
That inner voice. That tells us
what's true.
What's true and what's not.
Trust your gut.
Trust your gut.
Yeah.
It's about reclaiming our own authority. Our own discernment. And not blindly accepting what we're told.
By external sources.
By those external sources. It's about questioning. Thinking critically. Forming our own conclusions.
Based on what resonates with us.
Based on what resonates with us. On a deep level.
Not just going along with the crowd.
Not going along with the crowd, no.
Okay, I like that.
And they remind us. This journey of self-discovery. Can be challenging.
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
We'll doubt ourselves.
Yeah.
We'll feel lost, confused.
Yeah.
It's important to
be patient.
To be patient with ourselves.
Don't beat yourself up.
Don't beat yourself up. So it's about embracing that journey.
With all the twists and turns.
With all the twists and turns. Trusting that we'll find our way.
We'll find our way.
And they say it's important to find joy.
To find joy in the process.
In the process.
Yeah, it shouldn't feel like a burden.
It shouldn't be a chore.
Right, it should be fun.
It should be about aligning with your true self.
Yeah, and feeling good.
Feeling good, experiencing more love, peace, joy. That's a good way to put it. And they remind us, this is our birthright.
Our birthright.
To experience these states of being.
Wow.
We all have the capacity to access them.
So it's not something you have to earn.
It's not something you have to earn.
Unless we have it.
It's already within us. It's a beautiful reminder that we have the power to choose our reality.
To choose our reality.
To create a world.
That's aligned with our true selves.
It's more aligned with our true selves.
Yeah.
We're not victims of our circumstances.
We are active participants.
Active participants in creating our lives.
Yeah. And
shaping the world around us.
Yeah.
And they encourage us to use that power to create a reality
filled with
love, joy, peace, abundance.
I love that.
So what do you think is like the most important takeaway?
The most important takeaway
for our listener today?
I think it's that spiritual growth is a journey.
A journey.
Not a destination. It's not a destination.
It's about
continuously evolving.
Yeah.
Expanding our awareness.
Aligning with ourselves.
Aligning with our true selves. And yeah, this reality might present us with the challenges and distractions.
Challenges, distractions, but we have the power.
We have the power
to choose how we respond.
To choose how we respond.
And learn from our experiences.
Learn from those experiences.
Create a better life.
Create a more fulfilling and meaningful life.
Right.
And I think the speaker really nailed it when they said...
What did they say?
The most important answers are not found...
out there
in the world.
But within it.
But within ourselves.
So look inside. Trust yourself.
Connect with your own inner wisdom.
You have everything you need.
You have everything you need.
To navigate this journey. Create a reality that reflects your highest aspirations.
And create that reality that reflects your highest aspirations.
I love that. Thanks for joining us.
This was great.
Alex and Ivy got tales to share. Life in general, we go everywhere. From politics to soul repair. Tune in now, we got time to spare.